Do you know what I like to do when I get to spend extra time with my collection? I like to look at some baseball cards. Hey guys, I have a bunch of things I want to show you, a bunch of cards. And I want to start off with a beautiful new pickup I got. Then I'm going to go into some random stuff. But man, this is a beauty. T206 Cy Young. Piedmont back. How great is that card? Just a beauty. So the story with this card is in the early 2000s, probably 2002 or 3, I went through a phase where I was selling off some of my really beat up cards, and I was planning on replacing them after I sold them with a better copy. And this was one of those cards. I had one, it looked like it was in somebody's back pocket, really beaten up. And so I sold it, and I never got another one until just now. So it took me over 20 years to get another one. So I am very excited to pick that up finally. I got a couple of these W5 60s from 19... Man, I did a few videos on these. They're always listed as 1927. I believe they were a multi-year set, or it's possible they were from another year. I always have to give Jefferson Burdick the benefit of the doubt with these, because he was 27 years old in 1927, and he did the catalog. And, you know, it's possible that he got some of these in 1927, and that's why he thought they were from 1927, and they continued to make them. I don't know. But we'll just call them the W560 for now. I got a Lloyd Wainer. I had picked up a Paul recently. So you have to have big poison and little poison together. And I got an Al Simmons. I slowly work on this set. It's a fun set. And you don't really have to break the bank on these strip cards, but just loaded with fantastic players. I picked up a 1963 Veda Pinson. I didn't have this for my set, and it's a beauty. Here is a 1969 checklist, Topps checklist of Don Drysdale. These checklists with a player on them, you know, they're the best checklists. The late 60s, 67, 68. I got this. This is a Gallagher Limited. Helen Willis Moody, a top tennis player back then. I have a bunch from this set, so I'm going to keep adding them. I picked up a lot of, there were like 5 or 6 of some great athletes, like the top athletes of the time. I think I paid $9 for it. So then I decided to start adding some more. These are cheap and a fun way to collect beautiful looking tobacco cards. I always like these baseball scoops cards. They made 2 different versions of these. This is Tigers beat out Senators for pennant. Newhouser, Greenberg, Star, in historic game. And this is Newhouser, Hal Newhouser. They had these regular sized cards here. And then they also had the oversized. I have a bunch of both. And they memorialize. What's the right word, guys? They memorialize the great feats in baseball history. So they're like collecting a little baseball encyclopedia. And then I wanted to go through just some of my collection and just point a few things out. Number one, when I was growing up, I always cherished my Kirk Gibson rookie card. And I have a Coca-Cola version here. Thought I'd show you. So I have a few of these. I have the Coke, and I actually have behind me an unopened rack pack with him on top. And this is an O-Pee-Chee. I love to get the O-Pee-Chees. This is a O-Pee-Chee of John Candelaria. And this 78 set takes me back. Very nostalgic for all these late 70s, early 80s sets. In the prime of my collecting, John Candelaria, man, he came on the scene in a big way, threw a no-hitter in 1976, and then and that's also the year of his rookie card, if you don't know. And then in 77, he was an ERA leader. He was part of the 1979 World Series champion team. In 1985, his little baby son, John Jr., fell into the family swimming pool and eventually passed away. And he was going through some time, and the Pirates put him in the bullpen, and he did not like that. He ended up leading the team in saves that year, but then he was traded to the Angels. And at this time, he and Don Robinson were the only two players left on the Pirates from the 79 championship team. And he went to the Angels, and he went back to being a starter, and he went 7-3 down the stretch at the end of that year. And then the following year, he went 10-2 and helped the Angels get to the ALCS. A good pitcher, threw some heat. Now, he's special for me because I had gone to Steve Blass's baseball camp, which I have talked about many times. And it struck me before the game, when he was pitching, I see Dave Parker come in from the outfield wall with a big boombox. And this guy is running up and down the stairs of the stadium before he starts. And it always stuck with me because I was like, man, how's he going to pitch? He's going to be exhausted. But he was running the stairs, building up his legs. John Candelaria. This is a O-Pee-Chee, 1981, Gary Carter. Look at those guns on him. Of course, my favorite memory of him is in the 79 All-Star game where Dave Parker threw him a rocket ship into home plate, and he blocked the plate and reached and made an incredible play to get the tag. Here's a 1982 Permagraphics. Rickey Henderson. These are credit cards. I have a whole bunch of these from back in the day. I picked this up recently. I did not have it for my 1960 Fleer set. I saw somebody show it. I was like, oh, I don't have that one for my set. This is a Hal Newhouser. Here's a David Wright rookie card. Now, back in 2001, I bought this Bowman set. Well, I put a Bowman set together, I should say. I put a Bowman set together. Or did I buy it? I don't even know. I I don't know if I put it together or if I must have put it together, because I had a relic card and I had a signature card, and I had the whole thing in a binder, the whole complete set. And, you know, years later, in like 2014, when I got back into collecting, I was going through my cards and I had this old set in a binder. And it was, you know, at that time, they were starting to make these rookie-only sets. And that's what this is. It was a rookie-only set. And I went through there and I knew nobody. The relic card, the autograph card. But there were 3 rookies I did know in there, and I pulled them out. And one was the Ichiro rookie. The other was Chase Utley. And we had Marlon Byrd, who played for my Pirates for a short while. And I liked him. I liked watching him play. So this rookie set did not have the Albert Pujols. That was in the regular set, along with this guy. Now, who remembers this card? This was, back then they had Tough Stuff magazine, and this was always on the front as one of the hottest cards, Jose Reyes. And it was just a classic card, and it's a beautiful looking card. Really, really great looking card. Taking me back to the early 2000s. Now, it was 2001 when I pulled all my cards from my parents' house and got back into collecting again after I got married. And when I got into it in a big, big way. Started selling doubles on eBay. Became a power seller in like 3 months. And I was buying cards that I didn't have yet. And it was the early days of grading. So I would, you know, buy some of the rookies, you know. You had to get 10s or whatever. I sold some of my childhood cards. I sent some of those to SGC for grading. I still have them. Some of them I got reholdered because they got a little dingy over the years. Those labels had a tendency over time to kind of just get dingy. Not really yellowish, but just dingy. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about if you have any of the old SGC holders. So anyway, that is when I discovered that they had cards the Sports Illustrated for Kids magazine, because the Tiger Woods card went ballistic and it was selling for all kind of money. So I subscribed, and the first year I subscribed, I got these 3. I cut these out of the magazine myself. You got Pujols, Ichiro, and Mariano. Great card. Sports Illustrated for Kids does such a great job on their photos. I mean, they really do. They really, really do. All the cards look so fantastic. And the sad part is they're really not legitimized too much in the hobby, with the rare exception of a rookie card here or there. Many times in other sports because, well, all the time really in other sports because they don't have maybe mainstream cards at the time, like golf or tennis. Like the Caitlin Clark was selling for a lot of money. The Serena Williams, a 10 sold for like $10,000 a few years ago. And of course, the Tiger Woods that I mentioned. It's funny, I keep these books. I still subscribe and I just put them away. You know, if there's nothing, not a hot rookie or something in there that I know of right away. And you go back in time when somebody breaks out and you go looking for their cards. So that's how I discovered that I had Caitlin Clark's card. I had it sitting there. And when she became a name, I went to see if I had one, and I did. I remember I wanted to get a... oh, man, who's the swimmer? From Baltimore? Why am I drawing a blank? It'll come to me. You know who I'm talking about. I had wanted to get his card, and I was on eBay, and they were selling for a lot of money, and I didn't want to pay that for Sports Illustrated for Kids. So I was home at my other house, and I was in a closet, and I had a stack of kind of the last cards I had gotten before I stopped collecting in 2004 or took a hiatus. And right on top was his card sitting there in a holder. I had it and didn't even remember that I had it. But I was happy that I did, and I didn't have to pay a bunch of money on eBay. Why am I drawing a blank on his name? It's hell getting old, man. All right, guys. I'm sure you know who I'm talking about. Thanks for hanging out with me. I gots to go. Take some omega-3s or something. Michael Phelps. Duh. Thanks for hanging out with me.